Good morning. Good morning, Elaine, Michelina, Miss M, Deb. Some crazy handles going on. How are you checking in this morning? Cindy's here. Good morning. I was literally sleeping to my alarm and dreaming at the same time. Dreaming that Michelina had hopped on already, and I was like, no, I'm coming. Miss M says, morning friends, Laura, how are you? I'm better than I was. Cough is still a little bit here, but not like it was. And Elaine says, yeah, I figured out how to change my handle back to normal. I wonder why it just automatically just changed. Not sure. Well, for anybody watching the replay that's new, wondering what we do here, we gather every day at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Central time in the U.S. We gather to ground, to breathe, to hold space for ourselves and each other. And we draw mandalas, which is the Sanskrit term for circle. And in those circles, we draw whatever wants to come up and out. They're all different. These are some of mine. I use markers, paint, pens, colored pencils, whatever supplies we have on hand. Let's see, and Skyle is here. Good morning. Cindy, Miss M. Let's see. Deb is checking in, wishing. Miss M says, my handle is weird because I only put in a first name. Deb says, wishing and sneaking. Sneaky. Miss M says, long weekend ahead. And Elaine says, I found a sunny corner hoping for warmth. If there's any other check-ins, I know it's a few minutes late. Kathy is here checking in, catching up after a busy weekend traveling with friends. Miss M says, yay for sun, only clouds here. Yeah, there's only clouds here too. And it's a chilly, I think like 30 some degrees. No snow yet, but water's definitely frozen outside. Miss M says, Deb, you sound like a kitten. So if you'd like, I think Pamela's here. Good morning, Pamela. Overslept, what a gift. That's good. Glad you could sleep. Welcome. I invite you now, if you have any other check-ins, you can share those, or if you're ready, you can start settling into your body, into your breath, noticing your breath, noticing your body in this space. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes if it feels comfortable, or just a soft gaze. And as you take in a long, slow, deep breath, allowing your out breath to be slow and nourishing, almost like a full body sigh, and also allowing the weight of your body to settle. Feel into your whole body and notice how it feels. Take another long, slow, deep breath, releasing any tension with the out breath. Without trying to control anything, just notice where your mind is being called to distraction, to thought, or physical sensation. In awareness, choose to let those go. Anchor fully into presence to get a sense of what attachments are still being experienced to the past, to the thought, to the future, or to physical sensation. Imagine cords of energy flowing from you to those attachments, distractions, or experiences. Imagine gently and lovingly unplugging those cords of energy from your attachments. Even whisper, "Thank you," if it feels appropriate to do so. And then plug those cords back into you, allowing a full flow of healing energy to move around the body. Rest for a moment, feeling the current of life and energy moving through the body. Feel the body, mind, and heart come into alignment, flowing with new life and new energy. Now take a long, slow, deep breath in to encourage that joyful flow. Resting one hand on your heart, whisper, "I am right where I need to be." Stay here as long as you need. I am right where I need to be. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and you can come to the page. I have to blow my nose. My mornings, my nose likes to run. Now, catch up on some comments. You all know the drill. Let's see. Jan is here checking in. Had a problem with my iPhone and updating and totally consumed with that for days. Miss M says good to be here. Jan hugs McLeana. Oh, Jan, the frustration. Glad you're here. And McLeana saying, feeling busy, busy, busy from the moment I opened my eyes. And Skyle is here. Good morning. There's hugs to Skyle and highs. Hugs back. For anyone watching later, I like to draw my circle typically with a pen. I draw it with an in-breath and an out-breath, completing the circle. However, lately I have been just diving right in with a paintbrush. Today is Monday, November 24th. For those of us who like to date the page. And I am a sucker for wet on wet with watercolor or gouache, whatever paint I have on my desk. I don't think I've closed my paint sets for many, many weeks. That is one very big thing that I am grateful for. Having a studio where I don't have to clean up and I can jump right back into whatever I was doing. However, I oftentimes get ADD and don't remember what I was doing anyways, but lately I have been making little books with scrap materials. This brown is so rich, warm and chocolatey. Covered this one with some fabric and indented the cover a little, so we'll have another side, and then I think it's gonna open lengthwise. And I've just been using the back of paper that I have. A lot of the watercolor paper that I use comes in a pad like this, and then there's a piece of cardboard backing up at the back, and I cut that up into smaller rectangles and cover them with, this time I used fabric. My other one I used paper. Really playing, going back to my love of bookmaking. I think I've always loved the idea of storytelling pictures. I love how this paint moves on the page. It sinks into all of the grain of the paper, making really cool texture. Kyle is saying you and me both with the text stuff. Elaine says, I'm amused at the parade of heavy equipment driving by, bulldozers, claws, etc. They all wave like they are in a parade. And the Sam says, oh, I miss dedicated space to create. My sweetie has consumed my sanctuary with sorting projects. It'll be fine, but I'm antsy to have my space back. Yes. Elaine says, I'm planning to make a book supplement. Can't find what I need, so I'll make it. And Pamela says, Kyle, hello. Please reach out to me afterwards. I have a question for you. And Miss Sim says, yes, Elaine. Lots of browns today. We have 8 minutes left to draw. Sometimes I don't want to add anything else. But I always do. Of course, we need to add some shimmer to this piece. Pamela says, I hiked in the redwoods near sunset yesterday. I've never been when it's getting dark. Really comforting feeling. there's anything showing up that you'd like to share, by no means feel obligated to share anything. These are not necessarily for everyone. I like to think that they're a meditation, a prayer, a journal, sacred to ourselves. I don't know if I have any words that are coming up. A few minutes left. I'd like to share a little reading. I'm just gonna find one from this book. Maybe not. Maybe I won't read from that one. It's too long. I'll leave you with one of the wee moon readings. Let's see. Rickliness says patterns of calmness. Miss M says, not sure why I'm using shimmer. There's no sun to capture it. I must need some shimmer hugs today. Thanks, friend. You're welcome. This is called Hecate said, I sing to you of the dark moon when the stars are ablaze with a different kind of light, 5,000 spindles on the great spinning wheel, reaching out to prick your mind awake. Think, child, think. You always have 3 choices. Continue down the path you are on, go back, or step onto new ground. The truth is that the mind is wider than the sky, and full of doors outnumbering the stars. And you are not really moving in circles around the sun. It is a spiral you climb, higher and higher, into brighter and brighter light without end. And that is by Megan Welty, 2013. And it's accompanied by this beautiful illustration, The Light Deep Within. Kind of Mandala-ish. As always, I will post those. Thank you for being here today, for showing up, for taking time for yourself to slow down, to pause, to breathe, and to draw, potentially, or just listen. either way, taking the time. Glad you all could show up. Jen says, happy to have this practice to come to restore. Yay. Miklina sending lots of shimmer to Miss M. Cindy says, thank you so much. Kathy, oh, shimmery silver is mine too. And Pamela says, oh, my words, the light within. And Miss M is sending hugs. Mine is shimmery gold from the handmade watercolor that Eve made. Well, since I was a few minutes late, it works that we're a few minutes after. But big hugs to you all. Until we meet again, take care of yourselves today.